Alright, we back. It's your boy Clips the General, and welcome to the channel. Today, we got a great discussion, right, by the Daily RapUp Crew. Once again, shout out to them. The debate is about, should a real man ever serve himself? And I'm assuming they're talking about plates, having a debate about should a man ever make his own plate. I have, my views on that. I don't really understand the debate. If we're being 100% honest, I don't really understand why this is a thing, mainly with us. And you know what I mean when I say us. I don't understand the debate, but I'll give my thoughts and opinions throughout the video and of course at the end. But hold up, before we get into this video, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that good shit. You feel what I'm saying? But without further ado, let's get into it.
Time we got left. Yo, you can play that clip that I sent you? Because this kind of correlates to kind of what we was talking about.
And this is how. Part of our culture is to frown upon dark-skinned people. It's been passed down to us by the Spaniards, by our colonizers, by the people that conquered us. Taught us that dark skin is inferior, light skin is superior. We were taught that. It was passed down to us, meaning it's part of our culture. That doesn't mean I go out in the streets and want to hurt black people because they're black.
Right.
It means that our teachings, the way we're raised, is that we are raised to subconsciously believe that dark skin is inferior and light skin is superior. My grandmother was visiting one day from Mexico. She's never lived in the United States. She has no idea what life is out here. She was watching Univision News, where they depicted a black American committing a crime. She turned around and said, "Oye, estos negros solo estorban, ¿verdad? Hey, these black folks, all they do is get in the way, huh?" Here's the interesting part. She's never met a black person in her life. She has no idea what it's like to interact with a black person, but yet she already has an opinion about black people as a whole. Why?
Hold up. How did we get here? I thought this shit, for judging off the title of this video, how the fuck did we get here? But look, let's see where this shit go.
Because part of our culture, in this particular case, Univision News, since we were children, we have been subliminally taught that blacks are bad, criminals, etc. And whites are good, decent, giving, saviors, etc.
So I think the topic that I wanted to talk about was, can people be culturally racist? And clearly we got the evidence right there.
Yeah.
But in y'all experience, do y'all see that as a thing?
My dad was.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure, like
he didn't like black people.
I'm gonna give my opinion on this, but what the fuck does this have to do with the title? Like, this shit went left. This shit went way left. Y'all tripping. But I think but speaking about this topic, I think we need to understand there's a difference between racist and prejudice. I believe they can be, depending on who they are, they can be prejudiced. Being racist is meaning that you have the power to stop a certain race from doing some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you have to be in a position of power to be able to stop a race from getting something or moving ahead or shit like that. Like, you can be prejudiced, but I don't think everybody can be racist. I think it's a blanket term that people use and not understanding that the literal definition of it.
When I brought my first black boyfriend home, he was like, "I'm gonna bring you bananas to your baby shower," and he's the same color as my boyfriend.
Oh wow!
Which is absolutely
100%.
unacceptable.
In Puerto Rico, you say you're gonna bring you bananas?
Yeah,
What that mean?
because my kids are gonna come out like
shit.
monkeys.
Oh,
That's out of pocket.
And it's like the more he did that, the more I like black guys.
I was going to ask you that because I do hear Spanish women, they have that same experience, and that kind of does force them to like go against the grain and be like, you know what, let me see what these black dudes is about, whatever their case is. So that was kind of your experience.
That is true. That is 100% true. My ex-wife was Dominican. My ex-wife was Dominican. Her father wasn't fond of me at all. At all. Because I'm a black man. And the crazy shit is that nigga darker than me. That's the crazy part. That nigga's darker than me. You feel what I'm saying? And that is a fact. When a lot of Hispanic women, or it ain't even just Hispanic women, honestly, I think it's just people in general, no matter your race. I think it's just you naturally, well, not naturally, but when you're attracted to someone and your parents don't like them for the dumbest reasons. They could be the greatest person on the planet, but they don't like them for whatever reason. It makes you want that person more. Like word bond. Like I believe that. I truly, truly, truly believe that. Because the situation with my ex-wife, her father didn't like me simply because I was black. And like I said, we ended up married, 2 kids, all that. So I do believe there's some truth to that.
So like, okay.
Absolutely.
So what about y'all? Do y'all have the same? Well, I mean, are you black, obviously? But have you seen it in other communities? Do they look down on black people in your experience?
I never experienced that. No.
Speak up, please.
I never experienced that. No
Okay.
lie, but have I seen it in school? Yeah.
Okay.
I seen that a lot in school, middle school, and high school. Like the light skinned girl was always the one to be like, "Oh, I'm that." You know what I mean? And the guys be like, "Yeah, she's." And the black girl would be looked upon because she had shorter hair or whatever.
We just talked about
And that's
that.
why I
we
said,
just talked about it.
Is it true that like guys like the lighter skinned women? Because you see it all the time. Like the lighter skinned girl is the one that gets all the
more
praise.
attention.
Why?
More attention.
But I think that's culturally, like I hate to just kind of put this on like black men, but you know, even in Asian cultures and Indian cultures, colorism exists over there as well.
China too.
Men.
Spanish culture.
You know what I mean? And I hate when we talk about colorism because we just try to pinpoint it on black men. And I agree, it is a thing. You know what I mean? But other ethnic groups of men participate in the same colorism. But again, their women aren't controlling their narrative. So it's not like they know it's a thing, but their women are not going, "Oh, Asian men are colorists," because that's the thing in Asia too. Like they bleach their skin in Asia. Like you get what I'm saying? So, or Indian women is not saying, "Oh, well, you know, Indian men only." It's true, but they're not over there on social media blasting their men for it. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but again, it goes back to controlling the narrative.
I don't think that's been a thing for some time now. When I was growing up, maybe I would agree with that. Like mid-90s, early 90s, in the 90s, I would agree that was a thing. Even the early 2000s, that was probably a thing. I don't think, I could be ignorant, I could be wrong, I don't know. But I don't think that's the, what's the words I'm looking for? I don't believe that's like a big thing now. Again, like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know, I just don't think that. I don't think that. For me, listen, man, blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, you understand?
And what about you? Have you had that experience, or do you know about that?
So, I mean, I would say my parents, you guys know I'm Portuguese, they were not racist whatsoever. They were from a standpoint of if she's happy, then we're happy. And that went for me, my brothers, and whatever.
Okay.
They're very welcoming and loving, but I have seen it where some cultures talk down, like are just blatantly racist, and that's a shame, and it leaves a very sour taste in my mouth. It's unacceptable.
What about you?
The father of my kid's dad, he's Puerto Rican, and he didn't want him to date me because he thought I was black. So he's like, "Oh, she's dark, don't date her." And it was just like, if I would walk in their house, he would blatantly disrespect me, not say hi to me. I would look him in his face, say hi. He would just ignore me.
Hold up. In a situation like that, men, I'm speaking directly to you. Brothers, in situations like that, depending on your age, right? Especially if let's just say you're an adult, you're grown. You don't live in your parents' household, you live on your own or whatever, you got your lady, blah, blah, blah. It's your job to check that shit. That's your job, to check that shit the second it happens. You feel what I'm saying? And this is something my father taught me. Listen, when it comes to your family, right? The family you create, not the one you come from, the family you create. The family you create is more important than the family that you come from. You dig what I'm saying? I fought a lot of times with my sisters, even my mother, when it came to, you know what I'm saying, my relationship with my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? There was times where they didn't get along. And I'm like, listen, fam, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You ain't gotta like her, but you will fucking respect her. And when we come over here, you will acknowledge her. Hello. You ain't gotta be all peachy keen and hey, ha, 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 ha. But you will fucking acknowledge her. Period. That is your job. It is your job to check that shit. As a man, that is on you. The family that you fucking create is more important than the family that you come from. Once you create a fucking family, they go to the top of the fucking list. It's just what it is.
Stuff, and his grandma is darker than me.
He
Darker than my grandma.
Be like
Just
that. My
not be
grandma.
that shit.
My grandma's her color. Like,
My
and
grandfather's
he didn't know
so
anything
racist,
about
and
me.
He would not walk my aunt down the aisle, and my aunt married another Dominican dark guy, and he will not walk her down the aisle because he was dark.
Yeah, I just really find it very interesting because, you know, it's not even just with Hispanic cultures. It's even with other black cultures that have a negative, like there's some Caribbeans or some Africans that will, you know, look down upon black Americans because they did the same type of, you know, oh, they're ghetto, they're ratchet, you know, they don't have.
From a Caribbean standpoint, some black people
Really
do
are
too much,
uncultured.
and they
They're
do
uncultured.
a lot.
No.
But everybody do
Makes
too
our-
much. Like,
Yeah, but then it makes all of us look like we do that. That's why
Right.
we get pissed off, because it's like, why are you acting that way? You don't have to act that way.
but
Like, all of us
Caribbeans
look
do
like we-
crazy stuff too.
Yeah,
Africans
I'm
do
not
crazy
saying all
stuff
of
too.
us. It don't matter. You could be Caribbean, black, this and whatever. It's whatever you do and whatever culture you are, you're gonna make everybody look like that. Because look at how we look at white people.
We don't
Right.
control the media. So when you
True.
say how we look, they're not talking about when people are doing crazy shit, when Bob robbing Walmart. They're not expressing or putting that on the front page. So when y'all look at this one incident where this dude might have done some fucked up shit and it's blasted all over, it's just a different thing.
Mm-hmm. And Caribbeans and Africans go out their way to make sure when it's a black person that does something, oh no, he's black American. He ain't Caribbean, he's black. Y'all go out your way to make sure y'all differentiate yourselves. And this is why we have this diaspora war.
I'm black.
Listen, fam. We all know how the shit go, right? Everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. We know how the game go. If we being honest, right? If we are going to sit here and be completely honest, we are the fucking blueprint. You understand? We are the blueprint. And I'm not talking about the ignorant ones. I'm talking about overall, y'all want to look like us. They want to look like us. They want to walk like us. They want to talk like us. They want the swagger we got. You feel what I'm saying? They want the demeanor we got. You feel what I'm saying? Until it's time to, you know what I'm saying, figure some shit out on a like the social justice tip. Most of them. You have a few that will, you know what I'm saying, that will stand with us and ride with us, but we already know how the game go, man. We make the culture shift, whatever culture that is, whether that be fashion, whether that be music, sports. We make shit move. If we being 100% honest, we make shit move. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of things. Perfect example. Let's call a spade a spade. There's a reason that Champion hoodies cost $150 right now. Them shits was $10 when I was a kid. Who made them shits cool? You feel what I'm saying? There's a reason that certain things shift and become trendy all of a sudden. We know why that is. Let's not sit up here and beat around the bush, man. Everybody want to be black till it's time to be black.
Yeah, but this is why we have this diaspora war going on amongst black people on the earth, is because it was like, okay, we're not those blacks over there. We're this black, or we're different. We got more class, or we like everybody do some crazy stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like everybody's perfect and there's only just black people that do all this crazy stuff.
They do too much too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I get cursed out for that too.
And
Yeah.
DR, there's a place that if you have curly hair, they will not let you in. You need to straighten your hair to go into that restaurant. Which is so this 2023 and we're still on that.
That's
There's
unacceptable.
places like that in Barbados. If you're not a lighter Caribbean person, you can't go in certain places. They will look at you and be like,
That shit
Yeah,
is wild.
I just think it comes down to obviously media. You know, media is America's biggest export. Like, you get what I'm saying? And oftentimes when they control black people's image, it does come down to black men are just, you know, gangsters. They're violent, overly aggressive, overly masculine, deadbeats. Like, we have a list of things that we have just for black men alone. Like, you get what I'm
Black
saying?
Americans.
Which is
Yeah,
crazy
like-
to me because if you see most of the mass shootings, what are they?
Exactly.
What are they? They're
but-
white, crazy white people.
Yeah, but black men still, to this day, even though I always say this, white men in the world, in society, have a history of mass murdering, colonization, slavery, all the war, all of this stuff. But somehow the media has made it seem that black men are these monsters. Like, you get what I'm saying? Even to this day, we are still painted as these monsters, even though we don't have a history of this. Like, you get what I'm saying?
And it should be the white
rappers and stuff like that don't help the situation by they're in the social media light and they're portraying what social media is saying about black people. If y'all want
Now that part, but that part is true. However, that also ties into what the other brother was saying about the media. The media controls what narratives are pushed. The media they're gonna push that ignorant nonsense far more than they push the positive side of it. You dig what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people try to figure out how to get a positive message out, and it's damn near, I'm not gonna say it's damn near impossible, but that shit is difficult. It is fucking difficult. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just think about it, right? You always hear about the violence in the hood. You always hear about the nonsense in the hood. You always hear about all the bullshit in the hood, but you never hear about that person that made it out of the hood, that came back to the hood and has been in the hood for the past 5 years trying to make a difference. You don't hear about him. Or the woman that, you know what I'm saying, grew up in the hood, got older, got a bunch of degrees, or she got into real estate and she's developing shit in the hood, and she's developing, let's just say, fucking community centers and all of that type of shit. And you don't hear about that shit. And it's happening every single day. It is happening every single day. But like the brother said, the media is in control of what is being presented. It's just what it is. And people are going to attach themselves to whatever they see in the media, because you have some people that have zero firsthand experience about dealing with black people or being in urban areas. They have zero experience, but they will tell you what they think it's like being from these places by what they see, because that's all they see. They don't, like I said, they don't see the positive shit. They don't see, you know what I'm saying, the kid that grew up in the hood, but he was smart as shit and he graduated high school at fucking 16. They don't see that. You dig? I mean, or not graduated high school, pardon me. He graduated college at 16. They don't see that. And this is real life shit that's happening. I don't recall where the young lady is from, but there was a young lady. I saw an article I seen an article. It was an article. I seen an article. I don't recall how long ago it was. But she graduated from college at like 16, 17 or some shit like that. And she like, I think now she like a teacher or some shit. And she's only like, I think she just turned 18. And she's like a third grade teacher or some shit. No bullshit. You don't, that's the type of shit you don't hear about often. If you let the media dictate how you view certain things, your view would 9 times out of 10, your view will always be skewed. Always. You will never ever have a full picture of anything unless you go outside of yourself and do the research yourself and try to get the information yourself from other sources. It's just what it is.
change the narrative, why don't the people that's in the media start to act different?
So you're comparing rappers to a history.
But they're putting
of,
on for our community. This is still our new generation. If we want something
mass,
to change,
mass murdering is putting on his community.
You're talking
too.
about you're talking about entertainment versus
sorry.
news, though. We talking about entertainment.
I
and
understand
news.
what you're saying, though.
Nah, entertainment
goes hand in hand.
Okay, so entertainment. So okay, you want to use entertainment as an excuse, and which can be understandable. So then we can use entertainment to validate why black women are seen as these objects, sexual objects, because y'all are twerking, y'all selling the pussy, y'all doing all this. So we can use
rapping about that same shit.
Y'all rapping about the same thing. Like, you get what I'm saying?
At that
Like,
point, it's all women doing that at this point, right? It's not just black girls doing it. It's everybody.
So,
I
okay,
bet Spanish girls twerk more than black girls.
So you're quick to say it's all women, but when it's black rappers, then it's not all rappers or all entertainers?
No, I see it this way. Like, if you see a white successful person, they're out here buying the block, they're building businesses, they're putting their people on. We're not doing that. For example, Cardi B, I love her to death. But Cardi, she got 10 cars. She got 10 cars and doesn't even know how to drive one. You'll take those 10 cars and build up the Bronx.
And Jay-Z,
put up communities for your people.
That. You never came to Brooklyn and built one thing. You
And
got Rock Nation.
a lot of the times, like, we're literally like we're not aware of.
Y'all don't know that. You don't know that for a fact. You don't know that. You don't know that. Now, granted, am I defending them? No, don't give a fuck about them. But you don't know that to be a fact. Even though I'm pretty sure both of those, the people that you named, I'm pretty sure they have given back to their community in some way, shape, or fashion. I'm not gonna say I'm 100%, but I'm probably a good 75% sure that they have given back to their community some way, shape, or form. You just don't know. And it's crazy that we live in a space, right? We live in a space where we are held to this certain standard, right? When you make it out of the hood, it's like the hood feels like you are obligated to do some shit for. You're not obligated to do shit for anybody. Let's just tell it like it is. You are not obligated to do shit at all. You're not. You are not obligated, bruh. You don't have to fucking give anybody anything. So the fact that people can have a sense of entitlement to be like, oh, why the hell you from here? Why you ain't doing nothing? They don't have to. That's why. They don't have to. They really don't. They do not have to do shit. You dig what I'm saying? But hey, but I'm gonna end this video right here. If y'all want to go check out the rest of that video, man, I'm gonna leave a link in the description, right? And it's crazy because I done said what this damn video was about, and this shit ain't got nothing to do with that. Maybe it's probably later on in the video, but this video is mad long, so I'm not gonna sit here and do the whole video. But like I said, if y'all want to see the rest of this, if you want to see the rest of this video, I'll leave a link in the description so you can go ahead and go over there and check that out. But make sure, before y'all go, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one.